We always get started speaker-wise with high school, and we start with this gentleman. He's in his third year as a head coach at his alma mater. Led a renaissance at Cohen, Green Hornets, 5 wins in 3 seasons on the job. Cohen had not won a game since 2011, won in 2017, and paving its way to the success this year with the 5 wins. Worked previously at East St. John, U-High, Vanderbilt Catholic, and the Green Hornets 5-4 play at Hoss-Memphis Stadium against Thomas Jefferson Saturday at 2 p.m. Please give a warm quarterback club welcome to Coach Ben Powell of Cohen Green Hornets. Cohen.
Everything I'm about to tell you is totally true. When I took this job, they were on a 43-game losing streak. All right, so that's 5 seasons. Okay, they had not won a football game at 35-20 Dryads in 5 years when I got there. My buddy called me up, and he was the athletic director, and he said, "Hey, come on to Cohen. I want you to come be the head football coach. Come up here, work." I said, "Cohen, the basketball school?" And he was like, "Yeah, the basketball school. Come on, we're gonna get this thing going." And I said, "I'm not a basketball coach. I'm a football coach. Okay, I don't need a basketball job." And he said, "No, come on, it's gonna be great. It's gonna be good. We're gonna get this thing rolling." So I go, I take the job, I show up, and now he doesn't work there anymore. So I'm kind of like, the guy who brought me in is out the door, so I got to keep this going. And we show up, and I get a couple guys to come in and coach with me, and we kind of have that first intro, like come out, join the team type deal, and we do it in the middle of the 3rd period, right? And we walk in the auditorium, and there's about 75 kids in the auditorium. And I'm like, man, there's some good-looking kids in here. This is going to be, how hard can this be? How hard can it be to turn this program around? There's like 75 kids in the room. Well, long story short, they went to go sign up for the football team so they could get out of half a 3rd period. I swear that's true. Right? So on the first day of football practice, we got 15 kids. That's 1-5. All right? We had 15 kids, and we played an entire real live varsity football season with 15 kids. And we called them the Fighting 15. We ended up actually in the last game of that year, I think we had like 12 or 13 kids. All right? And it was one of those deals where, like, you got like special teams, offense, defense, all that stuff goes on the field. You count up your 11. That whole season, we never counted up the 11. We would just look on the sideline and make sure there's 4 kids standing next to us. Okay? So completely backwards, right? You're not supposed to do it that way. So, and we came in with all these ideas, and we were going to do it the way we did at East St. John, and the way we did it at Vanderbilt, and all these other places, and none of those things worked. Not one. Okay? And it was a struggle. Every single day was a struggle. And we were getting destroyed. Like, I'm talking about 70-7 every single week. It was bad. But as the season, kind of rolled along, we kind of got a little bit more competitive. We started learning how to tackle and play defense a little bit, and the scores got a little bit more respectable. And we went into the off season, and there is nothing like absolute failure, like total 100% failure, that's going to make you re-examine everything. Okay, so we were 0-9, and we sat down and we started to ask ourselves the question of why. Why do we do this? Okay, why are we even in this? Do we want to be here? Okay, check, we want to be here, we're in it for the kids, etc., etc. All right, so why do we lift weights the way we do? Why do we practice the way we do? And we couldn't come up with any good answers. A lot of it was like, well, that's because that's the way we did it at Vanderbilt Catholic. Or, oh man, that's the way you're supposed to do it. Or, it's always been this way. Okay, and we started to search for those answers of why, okay, and how they would fit our kids. So that first year, we were a spread offense. We were trying to throw the football and do all those kind of things that we couldn't compete. So we decided, okay, we need to run the football. We need to shorten games. We need to get the clock down. We need to, keep our defense off the field as best we can. There's 4 kids on the sideline. So we decided, okay, well, I had played in the wing tee in high school. One of our assistants had coached in the wing tee at St. James. So we said, okay, well, we're going to switch over. So we kind of, through that process of kind of, getting ourselves updated, we went to a clinic, and there was a guy there talking about their short yardage package. We were talking about the single wing. All right, not the wing tee, the single wing. And I said, that's the ticket, okay? Because the single wing doesn't have a quarterback. All right? There's no quarterback in a single wing. You're playing with 4 backs in the backfield. All right, and I said, we don't have a quarterback. There's not in the pipeline. There's not one in the 9th grade. There's not one in the school that wants to come play football. So we said, okay, this is perfect for us. So I went and talked to the guy, and he said, well, what you need to do is, I don't really know that much about it. It's just kind of a little thing we do. You need to go down to Florida and talk to this guy down there. So I get on a plane, I go to Orlando, Florida. I talk to the guy down there, and I learn all this stuff. And he says, what you really need to do is you need to go to Des Moines, Iowa. I'm like, Des Moines, Iowa? And I said, all right, fine. So in January, every year, there's about 25 coaches from across the country that run this thing, and they meet in Des Moines, okay? And I don't know if you've ever been cold. Go to Des Moines, Iowa in January. And the other part of that is you have to be really super intentional to get from New Orleans to Des Moines. That's not like you don't just get that ticket, okay? You got to make 3 or 4 stops. That's a whole there's a whole other presentation about that trip. But so we go up there, I visit these guys, and that's kind of the cool thing about coaching in general, is it is ultra competitive and everybody wants to win. But there's kind of a brotherhood deal there, and people are willing to share and help. And these guys start sending me stuff and sharing film, and we start digging into it. And last year, we won 4 games. Okay, so we broke that winning streak, and then we had a kid rush for about 1,000 yards, and we had another couple kids that rushed for about 200 or 300 yards. So we keep working it. Coming to this off season, we feel like, hey, we're going to be pretty decent. Right now, as of today, we've got the 2 leading rushers in Orleans Parish. We got one kid, Clay Essex, rushed for 1,200 yards so far. Another kid's right at 1,000. Okay, and last Friday we played for the first district championship in 45 years at the school. Last time they played for district title was 1971. We came up a little short, but on Saturday, if we win, we're probably in the playoffs for the first time in a decade. And the thing is, people want to talk about the single wing. They want to talk about, well, how do you do this? You don't have a quarterback. You're running the football. You only threw the football 14 times this year. 3 of them were trick plays, by the way. They weren't actual passes. So that wasn't like they gave us credit for the wrong thing. But everybody wants to talk about that, and we've had some articles and some social media stuff go out. But that's not why we're successful, okay? We're successful because of core values. 3 years ago, we had 10 freshmen, okay, come out. Out of that 15, 10 of them were freshmen, and none of those guys ever quit. And we talk about core values, and we talk about winning the day, and we talk about getting better, and we talk about toughness, we talk about heart, we talk about discipline, and we talk about excellence. And we talk about it every single day, okay? So it's not about our offense or our defense or whatever. It's that those 10 kids, they took a whipping their freshman year, and they've kind of grown up over time believing in that core value of being tough, right? Showing up every day, working out, doing all the things you got to do. Having heart, right? Putting it all on the line for your brothers and your football team and all that stuff. Disciplining them, not getting penalties and all that. And trying to be excellent. And that's kind of why, like last week there was a big article about our offense, and I was kind of like, okay, that's cool, but that's not why we're winning. All right? We're winning because those kids have bought into that system, and they bought into those core values. I think that's about all I got. Yeah, anybody got any questions? It might take video if you want to know about the offense. We might have to show you, we might have to get a diagram.
How many players do you currently have?
Right now we have 31. So we've kind of steadily, last year we had around 20, and this year we've kind of picked up. Side note, when I first got there, the kids on game day, they refused to wear their jersey. Right, and I like on the very first day, I was like, okay, hey, you gonna wear your jersey to school? None of the kids showed up. I was like, did y'all forget? And they're like, no, coach, we're not wearing our jersey. I was like, why aren't you wearing your jersey? And they're like, well, because the band makes fun of us. Right? The band makes fun of us. Right? So we went from that to like this year, our starting right tackle, he's been in the band the last couple of years. So, obviously the team's improving. We've got some numbers, but there's some cultural improvement there too.
I think the single wing hasn't been used here since the late 60s. It's really, breaking new ground.
Yes, we're on the cutting edge, so to speak.
You gonna stick with it with more kids coming out and so forth?
Oh, as far as the single wing? Yeah, I think we're on for us, it has provided a distinct advantage, okay? And it's kind of funny, we're ahead of the curve. and it lets us take maybe a less talented group or a less talented roster and go out there and play with some people that we probably shouldn't, and be able to beat some teams that we probably shouldn't. So yeah, we're going to stay with it.
Any other?
All right.
Thank you.